All right, so this right here is the Corsair Virtuoso Max. This is one of the most premium looking, feeling, and just, oh my goodness, the most aesthetically pleasing headset that I've ever used. It feels luxurious. Like there's no other gaming headset on the market that looks and feels like this. Like, this is a headset that I take with me when I go to the gym. You know, sometimes I just want to use regular earbuds. Sometimes I want, from really heavy sessions, I want some over the ear cans. And these are the ones that I use. And when I'm walking around, say I'm walking around Waikiki or wherever here out here in Honolulu, Hawaii, I have these on. I often get stopped by people asking me, hey, what headset is this? Because this doesn't look like a typical gaming headset. And because, truthfully speaking, these don't look like gaming headsets. These look like high end, think of like Audis or like Bayer Dynamics or something like that. These look like those level of headset. This is how high of a quality this is. Now, TLDR, should you buy this headset? If you're looking for luxury, premium comfort, and just, man, just a great headset experience and one of the best microphones on the headset, guaranteed this is the headset that you want to go with. Now, it does have a lot of caveats with it too. I mean, it's got some software issues that I think Corsair will fix with some updates that might keep you from dropping 300 plus on this headset. But as a whole, phenomenal headset. I really love it, but we're going to get into further more of that in this review of this right here, the Virtuoso Max. Huge shout out to Corsair for sending this over to me. This is actually the first Corsair product I've ever reviewed, and first time I've ever got to collaborate and work with Corsair. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. No, they're not paying me or really dictating how this review is done. They sent me the product, said, hey, review it. And that's what I'm doing now. And if you want to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave links in the description down below, as well as pinned into YouTube video and also the first pinned comment for the video. All that being said, though, let's go ahead and get into the review of why I absolutely love this headset, minus this major issue. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, it's been 5 years since the original Virtuoso headset made its debut, and Corsair returns with a new flagship, the Virtuoso MAX Wireless. Now, I have to say, this headset is built for premium gaming and more. This headset combines a luxurious design with advanced features like active noise cancellation and dual wireless connectivity. But the question for a lot of people is, does it live up to its flagship label? Now, I already gave you guys a bit of a heads up and said, yes, it does, but it does have one fatal flaw that really holds it back. But we're going to get into that. I gave you the TLDR, but we're going to get into it a little bit later. So, hey, relax, you're going to get some. Now, Corsair has crafted the Virtuoso MAX Wireless to exude a premium feel from the moment you pick it up and put it on. With robust metal and synthetic leather construction, it not only feels incredibly sturdy, but also maintains a sleek, high-end aesthetic. The silver accents and RGB lighting on the ear cups add a touch of elegance, while the Corsair logo and stitched details on the headband further elevate the overall look. At 530 grams, it's a reasonably lightweight option that remains comfortable for long gaming sessions. Even for those like me who, when I'm not wearing contact lenses, I wear glasses, or when I'm wearing contacts, I wear Gunnar optics to reduce my blue light blocking. And yeah, this is eyeglass friendly. And also, as you can see, I've got locks, I've got, dreadlocks. And if you're wondering, hey, how does it fit on there? I'd say it fits pretty actually freaking cozy. So if you're wearing, or if you're worried about, glasses, or if you've got textured hair or anything like that, don't worry. Relax. Corsair has you covered. Now let's talk about the specifics of this headset, because you're going to have the people who want to have all the fine little details, from the weight, the drivers, and all this other stuff. Now, for the casuals, you can skip ahead, but for those who want those technical details, relax. I got you. I'm about to give you some. Pause. No Diddy. No Johnson baby oil either. I got you. Let's go ahead and give you those details. Now, this is an over-ear design. It's got 50 millimeter graphene drivers, and the frequency range went roughly about 20,000 to 40,000 hertz. And connectivity, you have Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz wireless. The microphone on this is omnidirectional with noise suppression built into it, and it has a wireless range of approximately 15 meters. Battery life on this is roughly about 60 hours, with the charge time being about an hour and a half, and the weight on it is about 430 grams, and it's priced at $329.99. Now, all that out of the way, yes, this is a bit on the pricier side, but you're getting a luxury premium headset with some pretty dope features. There's not any other gaming headset on the market that looks like this. So you're paying for quality, you're paying for luxury, and you're paying for a premium experience with a bit of a flaw that it can be patched out, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, let's talk about the audio quality and the performance. In terms of the sound quality, the Virtuoso Max doesn't at all disappoint, but it does lean itself more towards a treble focus profile as opposed to a more natural sounding or bass heavy, like most other headphones. Like, Turtle Beach is more bass heavy, SteelSeries is pretty much perfectly optimized because they work with all the different gaming companies to have a specific audio sound, whereas this one, it's a bit more treble heavy, and you're going to need to tinker with some of the EQ settings to get it to where you want it to be. But relax, we'll get there. The headset handles everything from gaming to music with crisp clarity. The audiophiles may find the bass lacking, which is what I was alluding to earlier. Fortunately, Corsair's iCUE software includes an equalizer with 4 preset modes. Pure Direct, which is balanced, although incredibly flat sounding. I don't really recommend it, so yeah. Movie Theater, which is enhanced bass, FPS Competition, which is focused on mids and highs for competitive play, and Bass Boost, which, if you had to go between Bass Boost and Movie Theater, I'd say just use Movie Theater. Bass Boost doesn't really boost the bass that much. I would say copy that profile and change up the settings a little bit more. That way you can get a better optimized bass sound. This out of the box is not the most bass heavy headset. And for some people, especially music listeners, if you listen to a lot of R&B and hip hop, it's gonna disappoint in that area. So tinker with the settings. We'll get to it later on within this video review, but now you know. Okay, so audio quality aside, the sound quality on consoles, this is another one of the negatives against this headset. Sound qualities on console are very limited because of this simple fact that the custom EQ settings that you're going to set to it only work on PC. They don't carry over to console. So if you get a Xbox or PlayStation variation of this headset, which this one that I'm reviewing is a PlayStation variation, you don't get to carry over any custom profiles or EQ settings rather that you would set up on it that works specifically on the PC. They're not going to carry over to the console. That sucks. Hopefully with a future update that will be fixed, but right now that sucks. Corsair, please do better. So Corsair equips the Virtuoso MAX Wireless with dual wireless connectivity options. So you get 2.4 gigahertz and Bluetooth. And users can even connect both simultaneously, allowing for in-game audio from a PC while streaming music or taking calls from a smartphone. Or even running it to your console and at the same time running it to your mobile phone or mobile device. So hey, win both ways. With 60 hours of battery life in pure 2.4 gigahertz mode, the headset outlasts most competitors and has a quick 15-minute charge that delivers an impressive 6 hours of additional playtime. However, if you were to compare the battery longevity to another competitor, let's say throw it out there with Turtle Beach's Stealth 700 Gen 3s, which give you 80 hours of battery life, and you can have it connect up to 3 devices, console, PlayStation or Xbox, as well as PC, and to your mobile device. This is about 20 hours shorter of that. But from more of a comparison range, I would less compare the Virtuoso Max to the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 3. I would more so compare it to the Turtle Beach Atlas Air, which is $179 and is an open back, although it doesn't feel as premium or luxurious. But that is a headset that is perfectly tailored towards the audiophile enthusiast. So consider that. It's also roughly a little under half the price of this, a little over half the price rather. So if you want a more budget-friendly option, there you go. but I mean, if you're gonna pay to play, pay to play. Now, I will say another drawback of this headset is the lack of a traditional audio jack, limiting connectivity and versatility for non-Bluetooth devices. Okay, that is an issue that it does irritate me because I would love to have a 3.5 millimeter input to be able to plug it into other things. But a lot of these gaming headsets do not come with that functionality. So while it is an irritation to me, I think for most of the casual consumers, they won't really care. But for some people, they will care, which is why I include that in the review here. So you can either take it or leave it. That's really not a determining factor because most of these high-end headsets don't have a 3.5 millimeter input. But I figured I'd let you guys know in this part of the review that it doesn't have it. So if that bothers you, yay. If you don't care, yay. Let's move on with the review. Corsair's ANC active noise cancellation technology in the Virtuoso MAX Wireless effectively reduces background noise, making it a solid choice in its class. Even though it doesn't quite match the noise canceling prowess of high-end headphones, you know, something from Audi's or Beyerdynamic or even Bose or anything like that, I think for a gaming headset, it's probably one of the best that's on the market. Now, a transparency mode is also available, which is great for switching between in-game immersion and real-world awareness, so do keep that in mind. While packed with features, the Virtuoso MAX Wireless could honestly benefit from a simpler control scheme, as the setup includes 2 volume dials, which I like, you know, one for controlling the 2.4 gigahertz audio and one for controlling Bluetooth. But outside of that, it becomes a little bit confusing to know what everything else does because nothing is really that easily labeled. And let me get into that for you at this part of this review. You do get a series of buttons for functions like ANC and pairing, although truthfully speaking, the controls aren't really intuitive without first consulting the manual, which, okay, this can be considered another knock against this headset. I know, look, these are, just think of it like this. These are minor nitpicks with this headset. It doesn't, like every other headset you get, whether it's SteelSeries, Turtle Beach, you know, HyperX, Razer, whoever, they give you a manual. This doesn't give you a manual. They give you a QR code to go and be able to download and look at the manual. And I'm just scratching my head like, you have other pamphlets in this box. Why could you not have just put in a manual? Like that's dumb to me. Like why? Why not? I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, it does have a custom button which allows toggling between ANC, transparency, and normal modes, though it takes some practice getting used to it. The volume dials, while textured for grip, they honestly, in my opinion, could be a little bit smoother to turn, and adjusting settings on the go can truthfully feel a little bit cumbersome. The Virtuoso MAX Wireless comes with a detachable omnidirectional microphone that plugs into the left side and offers surprisingly high quality audio output. The mic is backed by Corsair's iCUE software, where users can adjust features like noise suppression, EQ settings, and RGB. And for those who are interested in pushing mic performance even further, iCUE offers NVIDIA broadcast support as well as voice mod and more, allowing for additional customizations like echo reduction. Now, if you're curious as to what the microphone sounds like connected to a PC as well as connected to a mobile phone, well, this part of the review is going to take care of it. Relax, you're going to get some. Let's go ahead and show you. All right, so I want to do a microphone test for the Virtuoso MAX from Corsair. As you can see, the headset is on my head right now. It's not installed. It's sitting on my head. And before I talk about the microphone test, which I think the microphone quality on this headset is the best of any gaming headset that I've ever heard, and generally any headset I've ever heard. But that being said, though, if you have locks or if you have dreadlocks or you know, hair twists or anything, thicker hair, kind of like mine, it is very friendly to that. Sits really well, and also eyeglass friendly too. So that's another thing with it as well. The other thing I want to talk about real quickly is just how good this sounds, right? Now, typically when it comes to headphones, the microphones on headsets, gaming headsets, just headsets in general, they're never really sounding that great, right? They typically they fit the bill, if that makes sense. Like they do the very bare minimum, but they're never going to be anything that's absolutely crazy that I would highly recommend, especially as a professional podcaster. and someone who does streaming full time and also just makes content. I would never rely on a gaming headset to pretty much do what I need to do. However, the exception is this microphone here. I think this is so good. I've heard this, before I did this mic test for you guys, I actually did a couple of mic tests that I do every time I get a new headset or microphone in. And I was really blown away by how good it sounds. Like, this doesn't sound like a typical, headset microphone. It sounds like, if I were to compare it to anything, I would compare it to probably the Elgato Wave microphone. Maybe a little bit, it doesn't have the full body of it, but it sounds just as good, a little, maybe a tier below it, and for a wireless headset, that's absolutely crazy. Like, I'm thinking, hey, if I'm on conference calls, if I need to do a podcast, I can literally just take this headset with me and I can be able to do that. Or even if I wanted to use it with phone calls, like if I do the Bluetooth functionality, I would just use this microphone. And what's cool about this headset I absolutely love is when you run it with the iCUE software, you're able to like tinker with it. So if if you're in your PC or your Mac or whatever, you use voice mod, or if you use NVIDIA broadcast, or any other software that does active noise cancellation, it can be a plug-in and direct download straight to the software to utilize with this headset. Now, out of the box, this headset does have active noise cancellation built into it, which I think is absolutely crazy. But you could also take it up a step. If you want to use voice mod, you want to use NVIDIA broadcast or any of the other software, like Lenovo has some stuff, Legion has some stuff. Like, it really comes down to it. Typically, I use a software called Crisp Audio, which I use in my XLR microphone and my audio interface, because that just for me is, what I found to be the most useful and the most consistent over NVIDIA broadcast. But with this, I'm like, man, I might have to just drop Crisp and go back over to using NVIDIA broadcast, NVIDIA broadcast with a plug-in with this headset. I've never really thought before about using a headset specifically just for voice acting, but for podcasting or conference calls, just because they've always sound, kind of tinny. But this is the absolute truth, and hopefully you guys like this microphone test, because I love the way this microphone sounds. With the Virtuoso Max connected to my Pixel 7 Pro, and this is what it sounds like. I've got the microphone going, it's connected via Bluetooth, and this does have simultaneous audio to be able to like go between 2.4 and Bluetooth audio. So if you're curious as to what the microphone sounds like when it's connected to a smartphone, well, now you know. All right, so another nitpick I have with this headset. I'm starting to rack them up. I need to do like that. Those videos where they got the tally counter? I probably need to tack that onto here. I don't know how to do that, but I'm like, man, as much as I love this headset, I keep finding little things that just are more annoyances. They're not like deal breakers or anything like that, but they're definitely annoyances that I think could definitely be better. But nonetheless, let's keep going. One notable downside is the custom audio settings aren't saved on the headset, so they're only available when the headset's connected to a PC running iCUE. Now, if you're curious about the iCUE software, I'm going to go and do a whole little breakdown. This is probably going to be about 10 minutes long. I will include a timestamp here, so if you want to skip ahead, you can, if you don't care for that. But this whole video is going to have timestamps for everything from mic testing, software, opening, unboxing, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the iCUE software. All right, so I want to walk you guys through the iCUE software that is pretty much mandatory if you want to do a lot of custom configurations for the Virtuoso Max and most of the Corsair products. And so as you can see here, I'm on the home page, and you get to see the wireless receiver. If it has any updates, you can update the wireless receiver here, as well as the headset. You can check out a lot of things here. I've got the EQ settings currently, as it shows you. It's on movie theater, but I can also change that. If I want to do pure direct or FPS competition or bass boost, I can definitely do that with that. Got a lot of other things over here. You got murals, so Corsair Yellow, One Blue, Rainbow, Interstellar, which is the one I use, Abstract, as well as Liquid. You also have your sensors, basically all the data for the tech heads who care about all that. Majority of casual consumers are not going to care about this, but you get the battery status and everything like that, temperatures for your computer, fans and everything, the load on your computer's processor and everything like that. You can add additional to this if you want to. It's like this right here lets you know what you have. Like for this gaming desktop, I actually have a dual gaming desktop or dual PC setup. And this is the one I use for streaming. So lets you know like the motherboard, processor, graphics card, my RAM and everything like that, as well as the battery status. So I can, if I want to add additional stuff to it, like if I want to showcase the DRAM frequency, the cache, RAS, cycle times, all that stuff for the DRAM, I can. For the graphics card, I can also do that too. So if I want to check out what the fan settings are, the memory load, video engine and all that stuff, I can add that. And if I go over here to the cores for my processor, I can add all that in if I wanted to. Same thing with this. I can add in all my fans, which I've got, 3 fans on this motherboard. And then check out everything over here. I can just click add if I want to. And then you're going to see all that information pop up over here. Now, I always keep my task manager open so I can pretty much, monitor my other settings there. But this is actually a very useful setting. Not one I'm going to see myself using a whole lot, but if you need to know this information, I think this is definitely going to be useful for you. Additional things, so like if you want to go over system information, devices, like those are just additional. I only have 2 Corsair products, or actually 1 Corsair product, which is this headset. I said 2 because I was like, oh, I got the receiver, I got the headset, but that's actually 1 product. But yeah, if you want to install voice mod, you can. Like it has, I'm assuming that Corsair has a partnership with voice mod, which is why this is popped up here, as well as with NVIDIA broadcast. I have a lot of friends that work at NVIDIA, such as Gerardo Delgado, who does a lot of stuff for them. So, which is cool, seeing that I know that they personally work with them. So if you need the audio effects, that right there is also great. So voice mod and audio NVIDIA broadcasts are great if you want to reduce your noise. Other things like I can check in here. So if you want to check out all the different plugins you can use. Now, various companies have various plugins. So you got ones, and this is for your lighting, cooling, other stuff like that, as well as your audio. So as you can see, I already have NVIDIA's plugin plugged in for NVIDIA broadcast. You also have Gigabit, you have MSI, you have ASUS, you have a Lenovo. Now, my other gaming desktop is an MSI Aegis R2, so I might install it on that, but I'm not too sure. But there's also Lenovo. I've got a Lenovo gaming desktop or laptop, so I can do a plugin for that. I don't have an ASUS anymore. I had an ROG Zephyr 16, but I don't have that anymore. But if I had it, I would use that Gigabit as well. So you can also check for updates for the various plugins. And then other stuff you can do with your settings. You can go to general. You can check out all the different stuff. So by default, temperature units is usually in Celsius, but because I was raised on Fahrenheit, which I know the rest of the world all know Celsius, but I was raised with Fahrenheit. I leave it on that. I always keep this as start on the system startup, so it's always running. And then you can also export or reset all your different settings. Or if they do not show this again, you can reset that to be able to show again. Then you got dashboard. You can set up a background image if you want to. Let me go ahead and add one. So I have one like that. Boom. That's pretty dope. And then see if I want, I can blur it. I don't have to. If I want to add a fade to it, I could if I want to. You got a storage drive widget. That's pretty dope. Show tutorial tooltips. Okay, if you want to. I'm just going to leave it off. And you can also restore the widgets to default. Software updates for iCUE, software for Virtuoso Max, as well as Virtuoso MAX Wireless receiver. Here you can also check the updates, and everything's up to date. Again, we are plugins, so sensor logs. So if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, this is also available for you. For the casual consumer, they're probably not going to care about this, but that's there for the enthusiasts. Same thing with SDK. A lot of people probably are not going to care for it or really know how to use that. But for the tech heads like us, like me and others, we probably will be making use of that. Same thing with integration. So if you got Philips Hue, Nanoleafs, Gove, or anything like that, you can do the integrations with it. I don't have any of that. Before I moved to this condo in Waikiki that we ended up buying, at the house that we had, I had a Nanoleaf and Philips Hue and everything like that, but don't have that anymore. Probably will do that when we build our Hawaiian homestead. We'll have a dedicated room for that, but for now, I don't have any of that, so it's not going to have any use to me. Privacy information, you can check the EULA, terms of service, and privacy policy, and device settings. You can check even individually for each one, for updates and such. So for the wireless receiver, and then for the headset, you can try out different things. You can do the brightness, you can do mic boost, case color, active noise cancellation, which I have turned on, which I absolutely love it. So I can like the active noise cancellation on this headset is absolutely crazy. I absolutely love it. You can assign what the left wheel does on the ear cup, or what the right ear does. So I just have the right one to be Bluetooth volume and the left one by default is system volume, which works for me. You can have sleep mode, put it to sleep at 5 minutes, which I think is great for maintaining the battery. Battery gauge notification, I leave that on. Same thing with voice prompts. Disable LED when mic is active. I leave it off, but you can save battery if you leave it on. And also, if you want to pair with another dongle, or if you lose your dongle and you need to get a replacement, you can do that. So that's the information right there. Other things I want to go to, if we go over to dashboard, this right here shows you that whole breakdown, you know, all this different things that we added in. Now you see it, right? So this is all the additional information. And you know, basically all the dashboard is all the sensors that you have here plus additional details. So that's what that is. If we go over to murals, so I have it set up. So basically, if you're not understanding how this functions, this is your left and right ear cup, right? And then basically this video that you see play here is what you're gonna see the light color on the ear cup be. So you can switch that. I have it to interstellar. You can switch it to abstract if you want, and you'll see the colors change. You can switch it to liquid if you want. And then if you want Corsair yellow, as you can see, the ear cup is yellow now. Blue, same thing. Rainbow, same thing. I just like interstellar personally. That to me, I personally prefer that. You can also create different ones. You can do audio lighting, monitor screen, static color, video capture, image capture, gradient, watercolor spectrum. But me personally, I'm fine with just interstellar. All right. And you can set up different device layouts. So if you want to add another one, you can. So I could have, let's see. Let's do audio lighting, and then name it that, create it. And if I want to, I can just put it down here, as you can see, and it just changes. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see, but it changes as I place it. Now, I personally just like my interstellar, so I'm just going to keep it there. All right, so now we're going to go back over here to home. Let's go over to the headset itself, right? So we're here on the headset. A couple different things that we can do. You can also like lighting effects. There's also device memory mode, but I'm going to get to that in a second. You can do key assignments for custom presses if you want. I don't have anything assigned because I don't need to, but you can also assign certain things for mute on and off, EQ switch. You can do keyboard, long press. So you can customize and remap. You can also do, regular, text, media, launch an application, voice mod stuff. There's a lot of different things that you can tinker with over here if you want to. I don't personally have a need for that, so I'm just going to turn it off. NVIDIA broadcast. Since I did the NVIDIA plugin, as you can see here, I've got noise removal and room echo removal, which is what this is why you're hearing it so clearly. You can also do mic tests. Like right now, I can just turn this off, both of these, and you should probably be able to hear the difference. As it automatically has active noise cancellation built into it, but I'm just going to turn it back on. You can change the intensity. I have it right at the middle. I don't think it needs to be more than that. You can also, if you want to test out the mic to see how it sounds, you can do it here and also play it back to yourself, and you can, adjust the volume of the playback. Now you can go over to equalizer. Right now I have it on movie theater, but you can also change it. So if you want to do custom ones, so if you click here, you can do a custom preset. So you can, move these up and down however you want. Really depends on you. Let me move my camera up so you guys can see. So you can move this however you want, if you want something specific. Now, don't use this. I'm just giving you guys an example, right? So I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I'm not going to use that. But you got pure direct, which is pretty much flat tone. Movie, which gives you a little bit more oomph. It emphasizes action sounds as well as voices. FPS, which if you're playing Call of Duty, Battlefield, or any type of shooter is the one you're probably going to want to go with. It also helps with hearing footsteps and such. And you got bass boost. So if you're listening to music, this is going to be the one that you'll want to utilize. I like leaving it on movie direct. It's because I feel like it gives you a lot of great audio. Now you can unlock Pro for voice mod. I don't personally have a need for it, but if you want, you could. That way you can get additional audio personalizations. Then there's Sound ID personalization. You can go over here, and this is how you can get your perfect sound. You can take a couple tests, so we can. Let's say it takes about 5 minutes. I'm not gonna do it on this video, but just to give you guys an idea of like what that works like. So if you want to have a specific sound, then you can create it here. But for me, I don't have a need for that. So you can go over to device memory mode. So you can turn that on. Basically, it locks it to it. So whenever you go, whatever you set it to, and then you go over to another device, it's going to lock it internally onto the device itself. For lighting effects and key assignments. Again, I don't really have a need for doing that because this is only going to be used for the most part at this computer. Maybe when I go somewhere, I'll probably use it somewhere else, but for the most part, this is just going to exclusively be used here. But this is, you got a lot of functionality here. So you can do custom layouts if you want. You want to change everything up. If you want to do, let's see, watercolor, or if you want to do something else, arc, color wave, color shift, color pulse, you can do all that. But again, I don't have a personal need for that because I'm just going to turn it off and just leave it like this. This is personally how I like it. And all that being said, that is everything you need to know as far as the utilization and functionality of the iCUE software. So let me know what you guys think. Now, one thing that's cool about this headset is it does come with a carry case that you can put this in, which makes sense considering that this is a luxury headset. Why wouldn't it come with it? And, I like it for what it is. I mean, it's nothing special, but it's it's a little leather-ish. I think it's leather. It could be like a pleather material, but it's got the little Corsair logo on the top, and then you can open it up. You can put your headset in, which, I'll go ahead and take these off so you can see what it fits like. I gotta retract the things, but this is what it looks like when it sits in there. As you can see, it's got the Corsair logo. Very nice, smooth felt. You just close it up. If you got your dongle, throw it in here and connect it to your backpack or whatever, and then I thought that was going to be smoother trying to do that than it actually was. But yeah, so you got something to protect this. So I think that's pretty cool, nonetheless, that they threw that in there. They didn't have to, but I think if you're going to charge over $300 for a pair of cans, you might want to bring something, especially with the premium feel of it. Yeah, that's why it's going to have that. But yeah, it's cool that they threw that in there. All right, so as polished as the Virtuoso MAX Wireless is, again, I'm talking about the things that detract from the whole experience. So again, I gotta figure out how to do that tally counter. A few issues distract from the overall experience. Some users have reported that there are inconsistent volume levels, which can drop after power cycling the headset, even if the settings remain at maximum. Now, this actually happened to me recently on one of my streams over on TikTok and YouTube, which I stream full time on TikTok, tiktok.com/mEKEL kASANOVA. I was streaming Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on launch day, which Activision provided me with a review copy of the game. And for some reason, out of nowhere, the headset just decided it was going to disconnect itself. And it did that also when I was interviewing Jennifer Hill. You guys know her as female Commander Shepard, as well as Naomi Hunter and Metal Gear Solid. And she's also Samus Aran in the Metroid series, and also Jean Grey and X-Men 95. So in the middle of me doing my podcast with her, the headset twice just disconnected. When it reconnected, it messed up all my audio, and it just changed all the settings within the computer itself, which I have two gaming desktops. I do a dual gaming desktop build. And for whatever reason, when it just disconnected, when I reconnected it, the audio was so minute that I could, I'm struggling. I've had to really actively try and listen. And no matter what I did, I could not get the audio to go back up. And even when I was tinkering with the settings in, OBS, Streamlabs OBS, and even on TikTok Live Studio, I couldn't get it to work right. Even when I used Talk Studio for my podcast, and I couldn't get the audio to go back up. So it's a very weird thing that happens. I hopefully Corsair looks into it with their R&D team. But that's very annoying that you can be using this headset and then out of nowhere it just decides to just turn itself off. That is super annoying. So please fix that issue. Okay, Corsair, I need that fixed. So something that's actually curious is that exiting iCUE boosts the volume, but it disables the EQ settings that you set, and it reintroduces excessive bass in a way that's not naturally just on the normal status of this headset. And I don't really understand why that is. Honestly, it's a quirk that I think can be resolved with some firmware updates. Granted, at the time of me reviewing this headset, it is very new. Please, Corsair, fix these issues, because it's the one thing that gives me a pause on like just telling people, yeah, go out and buy this headset. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's what makes me point towards people buying Turtle Beach or SteelSeries or HyperX headsets, which I love those three companies and their headsets. But I also love this headset, and I love the potentiality that it has to be great. But the fact it's potentiality and not an actuality is what holds me back from saying, yes, go out and get this headset. Yeah, you guys got to really fix those issues. Real talk. Now, wrapping everything up, I got to give you guys the overall pros and overall cons, and then we're gonna put a bow on top and present to you with my final verdict. Now, pros: this is an elegant premium design with a sturdy construction. It looks very luxurious. There's honestly no other gaming headset on the market that looks like this. And honestly, if people look at it, unless they knew the Corsair logo, they would never think that this is a gaming headset. It's got versatility. You can use it at the gym, use it for music and movie watching. You can use it for any type of content consumption, and it's excellent for gaming. It also has effective active noise cancellation and transparency modes. It's got one of the best high quality microphones ever I've seen on any gaming headset. It blows every other microphone out of the water. This is a phenomenal microphone on a headset. And the customization options in iCUE are superb. Great battery life, 60-hour battery life with an hour and a half for quick charging. Actually, no, for full charge is an hour and a half. With 15 minutes, you can get 6 hours of battery life. That's amazing for quick charging. And the dual connectivity or with Bluetooth and wireless 2.4 gigahertz is absolutely stunning. Now, cons: limited bass depth and the inconsistency with the volume levels, the fact that the software is so janky with the headset it definitely needs a firmware update as of the time it's recording, which is October 27, 2024. the fact that when it disconnects randomly, it messes up everything on your computer. I don't like that. The fact that there's no jack for wire connection, again, that's something you can either take or leave. I'm not going to say everyone's going to be bothered by that, but you know, some people that's going to be a con. The fact that there's no custom EQ settings for people who use this on consoles, like whatever you set it to on your PC, you don't get to carry that over to PlayStation or Xbox. That's a massive con. Every other headset allows that. Turtle Beast allows that. SteelSeries allows that. HyperX allows that. Razer allows that. The fact that Corsair does not allow that, I don't understand that, especially at the price point for this headset. It's weird. The control layout could definitely be a lot more intuitive than what it is. That's a major, major negative for this headset. Um, well, maybe not a major negative. I guess that could be like, it's an annoyance more than anything else. But something that is really a big pain in the butt is the fact that you have to use a QR code to download a headset when they're including other promotional pamphlets in this box, but you can't even print out a manual and include it with the product. I don't know. Maybe that's like the Apple effect, or you know, where they think that, you know, oh, we're innovating. No, you're not. Do better. All right, so bottom line, everything all being said, the Corsair Virtuoso MAX Wireless impresses with its luxurious design, robust build, and comprehensive feature set. While the audio quality could definitely benefit from deeper bass and some firmware updates that could resolve the issues and bugs that this headset has, it's still a strong contender in the gaming headset market. With its elegance, super high quality microphone. Honestly, the microphone is the thing alone that is pushing me to tell you guys to go out and buy it. For all the other issues with this headset, all the, you know, the quirks it has, that microphone is the absolute best on any gaming headset I've ever used. That alone is a selling factor for me, especially as someone who works at their desk constantly, streams, is on constantly on conference calls, is you know, constantly recording stuff for YouTube videos and TikToks, and also doing voice acting, which I mean, I wouldn't use this for voice acting, but I also do podcasting with, you know, celebrities, voice actors, and so much more in the game and tech industry. For podcasts, this is actually an excellent microphone. So for the microphone alone is what I would highly recommend this headset for. All the other issues, if the microphone didn't really factor in for you, I couldn't really recommend this. So this is kind of a, it's up to you, you know, take all the information that I'm giving you and go from there. But all that being said, you know, it's really up to you. This is not one that I can just say, go out and buy it and it's the king of headsets or anything like that. It is something that you really take it at your own discretion and go from there. So with all that being said, big thank you again to Corsair for giving me this product and allowing me to review it. I know I was a little harsh on it and I had a lot of nitpicks with it, but I do think this is a phenomenal product that you guys could improve with some firmware updates. All that being said, though, if you want to pick up this headset, then I will leave links in the description down below, as well as the first pinned comment on YouTube, as well as pinned to the YouTube video itself. And other than that, let me know what you guys think about it. I like the headset. It's not one I can really just tell you go out and buy because of its issues, but if it didn't have those issues, I would say yes, buy it. But if you need something with a phenomenal microphone, hands down, there's no microphone better than this on any other gaming headset. Like, it does not sound like a gaming headset. It sounds really good. Like a, think of it like this. It sounds like the Elgato Wave mic. That's how good it sounds like, the Wave 3 mic. So with that being said, that's the review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, cool. If you did, awesome. All that being said, I'm signing out. It's been a long day. This is a long video. It's probably one of the longest tech reviews I've done in a while. But all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and a hui ho.